I'm Dr. Jenn. I want to welcome you to In the Den with Dr. Jenn. Today's episode, we have a male who calls himself a feminist filmmaker for women's health. What does that mean exactly? Our sexual fun facts are going to be looking at pornography statistics. And I have a tasty lube recommendation. Stay tuned. Our den chat. I was first introduced to today's guest when I heard his inspiring speech at the 2011 San Diego Slut Walk. It was awesome. Echo Zen is a feminist filmmaker and women's health advocate who works to educate communities and families about health, sexuality, and respect. His goal is to someday honor his peers by becoming a champion for reproductive justice through his work as an educator and filmmaker. In his spare time, he bakes pasta, reads children's books, and designs puppets from household objects. Welcome, Echo.
Hi. I'm glad to be in the den with Dr. Jenn. Nice place, by the way.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
I like our den. So, okay, so to cut to the chase here and with the topics that you're most passionate about, how do you think the US media represents women's health issues, and do you think it's accurate?
Well, there are multiple aspects of women's health, for example, sexuality, contraception, reproductive cancers, and etc. And in different ways, things have progressed and regressed. Like, for example, breast cancer. I mean, maybe you or your parents remember it used to be a very stigmatized disease. You know, it either meant that the patient was defective or that she wasn't fully feminine. And we've come a long way since then.
I'm sure you all know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And the key to fighting breast cancer is early detection, so make sure you do a self-exam every month. You go around in little circles with firm pressure for 2 minutes or until the plaque is gone. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of brushing my teeth. Either way, it's important to do it.
And in other areas of women's health, like say sexuality, we have also seen progress there. For example, the first show that always comes to mind is Sex and the City. And even though there are problematic aspects of the show with regard to, you know, race, class, and consumerism,
right?
It was
consumerism.
It's consumer. Yeah. And I'm gonna pretend those movies never happened because they're non-canonical as far as I'm concerned. Just like Superman 3 and 4. So, Sex and the City.
Yes.
It was one of the shows that, you know, brought topics that were previously the subject of, you know, it was sort of as like, you know, gossipy material, like obviously sexuality and aging and desire and the vibrators, and bring them into the common public discourse. And that's one of the big contributions that Sex and the City has made for through the media.
Sounds like somebody just got their first vibrator.
Not first, ultimate. And I think I'm in love.
Oh, please stop. This is so sad. Come on, I'm not going to replace a man with some battery-operated device.
You say that, but you haven't met the rabbit.
Oh, come on. If you're going to get a vibrator, at least get one called the horse.
So there's multiple ways then you're saying that basically the media is bringing a lot of public discourse around sexual topics and health in ways that we didn't have before. So I'm curious how someone like you, sexual health advocates overall, are using media to specifically fight misconceptions around women's health or women's sexuality.
Well, we're trying to do what we can. But before, I mean, first we also have to realize that there's, like, as you probably know, there are still a lot of issues regarding like the stigmatization of many aspects of women's health and sexuality. For instance, the one that comes to mind is contraception. Now, there was a study by the Kaiser Family Foundation, I think, back in 2003, which found that even though 75% of primetime shows, either contain sexuality either in the form of references or depictions, only maybe 14% of them address contraception in any meaningful way.
What is this you sold us?
Condoms.
No, condoms don't usually feel this good.
Sorry?
It feels like nothing's there.
That's the whole idea. This is new Trojan Ecstasy, a totally new fit, plus his side, her side lubrication to feel so much pleasure.
It changes everything that I feel about condoms.
Is that bad?
No? I guess it's
awesome.
Awesome. Do you take debit?
Trojan, America's trusted #1 condom brand, introduces new Ecstasy. You can't wait to get it on.
I'll start the car.
Go.
And I'll also use Sex and the City as an example on that topic, because these are people who are it seems like in every episode they're engaged in casual sex. I would never be able to keep up. But contraception and sexually transmitted infections rarely seems to come up in the story arcs or anything like that, which is problematic.
Yeah, especially for folks like you and I that are sexual health advocates, we want condoms and sexual health discussions and STD discussions just to be normalized, and every a normal part of moving into a sexual relationship is not something that ruins the moment or is embarrassing or something like that. And I don't think those media outlets are helping us in that way at all.
You broke my Birkin!
Sorry, mistake.
Condoms! Yes! Condoms!
If you look at, I don't know if people still watch the telly, because everything is on the internet these days, but
I just like that you call it the telly, honestly. It's so cute.
I know, I get that from women all the time.
It's true, it is. It's very sweet.
I mean, back in the 1970s, before my time technically.
Thank you.
There's the national when most network TV channels were part of the National Association of Broadcasters, they instated a ban on adverts that were about contraception for the purpose of pregnancy prevention. Now, these rules were no longer mandated by the 1980s, but a lot of networks continue to stick by these rules, and that's why if you still watch television, you'll notice there are no contraception adverts that talk about contraception in the context of pregnancy prevention. It's always in the context of a health-related issue like STIs.
Oh, interesting.
And
okay.
I do remember back in 2007, the Trojan Condom Company, they actually started running adverts that were more explicit about the fact that yes, condoms can prevent pregnancy.
Then what's one thing you would say that's a way that folks like you, me, other folks out there can harness the media to get better information out there about women's health?
Well, one way that we have been addressing this lack of discussion in the public discourse is definitely through the feminist blogosphere. And I was very fortunate that I came of age, so to speak, during the early and mid-2000s when the more prominent feminist blogs like Feministing by Jessica Valenti, who's now a mainstream journalist.
Yeah.
And they were instrumental behind being able to organize young feminists and activists and advocates in order to lobby for our reproductive rights and for women's health related issues. I remember, for example, in 2006, now shifting the topic from contraception, specifically to abortion, and how the two intersect. Back in 2006, I remember the U.S. government was considering a proposal to redefine abortion as, rather than pregnancy termination, as pregnancy prevention, which is insane. That would have meant that birth control pills and all that stuff would have been defined as abortion, which would have allowed them to use anti-choice laws to, attack contraception access. Now, this got out onto the feminist blogosphere. Young feminists didn't think this was such a great idea, and the amount of public outrage, caused them to back off and be like, well, we're gonna, stick to fact-based science for now until
What a
someone else catches
concept.
up.
I know. Thank you. Thank you so much for the work you're doing out there. I can't wait to see what films you're going to continue to create and how you're going to be a benefit to us. So I'm going to put a hand for Echo here. Thank you so much. And if you want to find Echo online, you can visit him on YouTube at youtube.com/user/EchoZenUK. Sexual fun fact. Okay, speaking of media misrepresenting women and sexuality, I have a few online pornography statistics to quiz you with. So the first question, what is the least popular day of the year for viewing pornography?
Christmas. Valentine's Day.
Thanksgiving, yay! Condom to our winner. Okay, second question. What's the average age a child first views porn online?
5.
11, yay, condom. Okay, that's kind of early. I was surprised by that. Third question, what percentage of search engine requests are for pornography? 100%. No, not at all. 25.
75.
Woo! 25%, which is about 68 million per day. And these stats were from a few years ago, so it's likely that these numbers are much higher now. The Den recommend. I like lube. I'm a big fan. And I like flavored lube, if it's tasty and if it's not kind of that nasty, sticky stuff that a lot of it's out there. So I'm very happy to report that I've recently been introduced to Hathor Aphrodisia, a company out of Victoria, Canada, who makes eco-friendly lubricants and uses essential oils with aphrodisiac properties. The mother-daughter team there, how cool is that, mother and daughter making lube together, were kind enough to send me a sample of one of their lubricant liqueurs in the flavor of coconut orange. And I found it quite tasty. Now, be careful not to use too much. I found this out the hard way. It's sweetened naturally with stevia, which is awesome because it means it's sweet without sugar, so it's not going to get sticky or cause yeast infections. It doesn't have any artificial sweeteners. But it also means that if you lick too much of it, it's too intense. So a little goes a long way. It didn't get sticky. And I actually really enjoyed the tropical flavor that it had with the orange, the coconut orange. And they have 2 other flavors. I haven't tried them yet. So all you have to do is dot a little on your body of where you want to be licked and let your partner have fun. You can find Hathor Aphrodisia online at hathorbody.com. In conclusion, I want to thank you to our live audience for being here to talk about sex. Yay, audience! Got this lube just running down my hand here. And I'd like to thank Echo Zen for his commitment to women's health and sharing that information here. You can find me online at drjensden.com and on Facebook and Twitter at drjensden. Let me know if you'd like to work with me for some one-on-one counseling. We can do that in person or via Skype. And now don't miss the outrageous or funny or crazy outtake after the credits. And as always, be kind to yourself. 140 is your lucky number?
Well, it's a multiple of my lucky number.
I was like, what's 140 as your lucky number?